everybody. Hey, it's Mike. Welcome back to the Professional Defender. I apologize if it's windy. I really don't have a lot of options on where to record this thing today, and I owe y'all an episode. So today's episode is going to be a lot different. If this is your first time seeing this channel, please like and subscribe so you don't miss anything that's coming up, and that way you can also go back and catch any other episodes we've already done. This episode, I really wanted it to be a little bit more lighthearted, so we're going to talk about things that just make sense to military families that may not make sense to a lot of the people. Today's episode, I'm recording it, I wouldn't say live, but I am, I guess, technically live. We are at fam camp today. Why? Because our whole house got packed up yesterday. Wait, what's today? Today's Thursday. Yeah, the house got packed yesterday, which is why my episode's late. Spent the last couple of days doing household goods, packing pickup. So they did Monday. They packed. Now this crew that packed us this week, this time, they packed our whole house in like less than 8 hours. They missed some stuff. I give them a B- overall. It's not bad, right? I've definitely had worse. I've had some that were way better, but I've definitely had a lot worse. So B- overall. Loading crew hoofed it, man. They showed up on Tuesday, like afternoon, started kind of pre-gaming everything, wrapping furniture, taking stuff apart, and then on yesterday, whenever they showed up to pack, they just went to town, went crazy. They got it all done. I'll give them an A- because there was definitely some stuff they could have done better, but overall, really happy with it. So, hence we're at fam camp. Got my dog in front of me, checking out what's going on. The kids are in the camper, eating lunch, and so today's things about that just make sense to military families, right? First thing is watching all of your stuff just get packed up and have a number put on it. How many different things do you have from different PCSs that have multiple stickers on them? I've got a couple things, like our ironing board, for example. Our ironing board has 4 different stickers on it. They just keep putting the stickers over the top of the previous one. It's kind of funny. And that's another thing that makes sense to military families is once you're in a duty location for a few years, you just happen to find random stickers, those little stickers on things. Matter of fact, hang on. Sorry, I thought I could find it. The moving company actually left an entire roll of the movie stickers, so I was going to show you the movie sticker. If you haven't PCS'd, or if you're not a military person and you still like to watch my podcast, which if you are, appreciate it. So finding those little moving stickers on stuff, yeah, a couple years later, or even finding them like from just previous moves that you just missed. What else makes sense to a military family? Oh, being on base and hearing Reveille at 0700. That's always fun. Being on base at 5 and hearing colors or hearing the call to colors and then the Star Spangled Banner at 5, and just seeing traffic automatically, like everybody stop and everybody stop walking. That's one of the things that's always interesting. Or watching the people that are like not wanting to stand and salute outside, so they try to hurry up and run inside. And some people are like, oh, but that's disrespectful. Everybody's seen it happen. What else just makes sense to military families? Having to live in weird places, like living in fam camp. So this is a pretty nice little campground that we have on base, and we're living in the camper for a little bit. That makes sense. Probably my favorite thing that just makes sense to military families is having your cars registered in one state, your driver's license being in another state, and then you don't live in either one of those states, but yet your state of residency may be somewhere else. Like we're Alaska residents, but I have a Louisiana phone number, and we're about to live in Ohio. Granted, my driver's license is still Alaska, and my car is registered in Alaska, but that's because no state sales tax there. And I've had my Louisiana phone number for so long that if I changed it now, there's people that I would probably never be able to get in touch with ever again, because I've had that number for a really long time. What else just makes sense to military families? Going to the movie on base, if your base has a movie theater, and hearing the Star Spangled Banner play before the actual movie starts. So you'll see people that are so used to seeing the movies on base, they'll just kind of stand up like right when the movie starts, because that's when the national anthem plays. What else just makes sense? There's a lot of things that military families do that just make sense to us. that doesn't really make sense to a lot of other people. Um, one of the things that I think a lot of us do is like we tend to like just automatically think in military time. So like I said earlier, it was 700 or 1500 or 1700 rather. And what else makes sense? Oh, bringing plants that your spouse, my spouse being the active duty member, didn't want to leave at the house for whenever we moved out of it. And so you have tomato plants at your camper. Makes sense, right? Uh, I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that we do that make sense to us. That oh, I'll tell you one. Here's a really good one. Whenever somebody asks your kid where they're from, like my girls are getting ready to move to their sixth state, and my oldest is 10. So yeah, that'll be fun when we get to our next duty location, and there's people at school like, oh, where are you from? So we'll be like, where are we from, or what state have we lived in the longest? Because that'll be funny. Um, hmm. Yeah, I think those are some of the main ones that just make sense to us as military families. That doesn't make sense to a whole lot of other people. That most people probably don't even think about. Oh, something else that makes sense to us is having to restart everything every couple of years, like having to find a new dentist, having to find a new doctor, having to find somebody to cut your hair, a veterinarian, um, all that stuff. That's something that we understand that not a lot of people think about. I don't know if this will be funny and lighthearted, but to me it kind of is. It is funny. I know I sound kind of like distracted. I am a little distracted today. I freely admit that. We're supposed to go ride bikes with one of her friends here in a little bit, with one of my oldest daughter's friends, and we've got other stuff we want to do. And then my wife left today to go to Dallas with her sister for the weekend because at least she's going on vacation and didn't go TDY or deploy during PCS. So she'll be back next week, and yeah. So anyway, so super short, super distracted. I apologize. Um, I will do better. Today's just kind of weird. This whole week has just been weird. Like there's a lot of stress that went into today. Like not just today, but to get to today. Like this whole week has been stressful. The kids have been stressed out, which feeds into us, and then we've been stressed out, which feeds into them, which just kind of spins the whole thing cycling. So, matter of fact, my oldest is coming out now. She likes to pop her head in whenever I'm recording stuff because she thinks it's funny. She's like, no, I don't. No, I don't. Anyway, so if you stuck around this long through my rambling today, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Next week's episode will be better. I promise you. I don't know what she's laughing at. She's behind me, like making faces, or she's behind the camera making faces now. So anyway, so this has been the Professional Dependent. I am Mike. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. She's giving me a thumbs up. So y'all have a great day. It is Memorial Day weekend, so y'all remember those that didn't make it home. This weekend is for them. And yeah, cheers, y'all.